Think the Trump administration has been responding to these back-to-back natural disasters?
Well, you know, my sense is that lessons have been learned here. Lessons have been learned from Katrina. They've been learned from Sandy. I have to say that, that FEMA, Homeland Security, have actually done well in getting ahead of these terrible hurricanes as they approached both Houston and Florida. They were able to develop their disaster declarations by the president. They were able to put assets in place. And most importantly, they did everything necessary to back up both state and local officials. But, you know, this is still to be determined. We're in a long recovery here in both places. And my experience on disasters is you go through several stages. The first stage is kind of shock from what happened. The second stage is frustration in trying to recognize the damage that you've got to deal with. And the third stage is anger. And so the real test of whether they've learned how to deal with disasters will probably come with that third stage and a lot of anger by people who are trying to recover from this terrible event.
And I'm just curious, what is the role of a president during a natural disaster like Hurricane Irma or any hurricane? I mean, is it really just sort of comforter in chief for the people who've been hurt, or is it sort of a general where he's marshaling resources and giving directions?
Well, the President of the United States, as the leader of the country, really is responsible for how the country responds to these kinds of disasters. So in one way, even though he has people who are assigned responsibility for these disasters, and if he has good people, that's really important to any administration. But in the end, the president has to reflect both the concern and compassion necessary to indicate to the country as a whole, and particularly to the victims of these tragedies, that the country is with them and will support them and will be there for any kind of necessary aid that they need. So the president has to be, as President of the United States, the leader that says to those people, we in Washington are going to do everything necessary to try to help you.
And have you heard that from President Trump yet?
I think, you know, what I've seen from President Trump is an understanding of what people are going through, and the fact that the federal government is going to be there. I think he's got some very good people at FEMA. I think Homeland Security has done a great job. I think the Department of Defense has done a great job.